Warren Buffett was born in 1930 in a small city in Nebraska, United States. His family was not rich. His father was a stockbroker who lost everything during the Great Depression. And yet, this man became one of the wealthiest people in the history of humanity. Not by luck, not by inheritance, but by following a very specific system, step by step, for decades. The question is, can a regular person follow the same steps and achieve the same results? The answer is yes. And in this video, I am going to show you exactly how. At the age of 11, Warren Buffett bought his first stock. He bought 3 shares of a company called Cities Service, using every dollar he had saved from selling chewing gum and delivering newspapers. He did not know everything back then, but he started, and that is the first lesson. Most people wait for the perfect moment to invest. They wait until they have more money, more knowledge, more time, but Buffett understood something that most people never do. Time is the most powerful force in investing. Not money, not talent, time. There is a concept called compound interest. Einstein reportedly called it the 8th wonder of the world. When you invest money and your earnings generate more earnings, and those new earnings generate even more earnings, your wealth does not grow in a straight line. It explodes. But this only works if you start early and stay consistent. Every year you wait is a year you can never get back. Here is something that will blow your mind. Warren Buffett is worth over $100 billion, but more than 97% of that wealth was accumulated after his 65th birthday. That is the power of compound interest over time. He did not rush. He did not trade every day. He simply let time do the work. The second step is reading. Buffett reads between 5 and 6 hours every single day. He reads annual reports, newspapers, books, and industry analyzes. When people ask him for the secret of his success, he points to a stack of papers and says, "Read 500 pages like this every day." That is how knowledge works. It builds up, like compound interest. You do not need to read 500 pages a day. But if you replace 30 minutes of social media with reading about business and investing, in 1 year you will know more about money than 90% of people around you. Start with 2 books, The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham and Poor Charlie's Almanac by Charlie Munger. These 2 books shape the way Buffett thinks about money. The third step is what Buffett calls the circle of competence. He only invests in businesses he truly understands. Not tech companies with complicated algorithms, not biotech firms with complex science. Simple businesses. Coca-Cola, Apple, American Express, insurance companies. Businesses he can explain in 1 sentence. He once said, "Never invest in a business you cannot understand." This is why he avoided the dot-com bubble in the late 90s. Everyone thought he was crazy. Then the bubble burst, and he was right. If you do not understand how a company makes money, you do not invest in it, period. Take a moment, right now, and think about 3 industries you already understand. Maybe you work in retail, maybe you know a lot about healthcare, maybe you understand fast food better than anyone. Start there. Look for great companies inside the industries you already know. The fourth step is the difference between price and value. Buffett learned this from his mentor, Benjamin Graham. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. And these 2 things are almost never the same. The stock market is emotional. Prices go up because people are excited. Prices go down because people are scared. But the real value of a business does not change that fast. So when fear drives prices down below the real value of a great company, that is when Buffett buys. He does not buy cheap companies. He buys great companies at fair prices. To do this yourself, you need to learn 3 basic numbers. The price-to-earnings ratio, which tells you how expensive a stock is compared to its profits. The return on equity, which tells you how efficiently a company uses its money. And the profit margin, which tells you how much the company keeps from every dollar it earns. You do not need to be a mathematician. You just need to understand what these numbers mean. The 5th step is thinking like an owner, not a trader. Buffett says his favorite holding period is forever. Back. When he buys a stock, he is not thinking about selling it next week or next year. He is thinking about owning a piece of a real business for decades. Ask yourself this question before you buy any stock. Would I feel comfortable owning this company if the market closed for 10 years and I could not sell? If the answer is no, do not buy it. If the answer is yes, you are thinking like Buffett. The sixth step is protecting your downside. Buffett has 2 rules. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. This sounds simple, but most investors do the opposite. They chase gains without thinking about risk. Buffett always buys with a margin of safety. He wants to pay so much less than the real value of a company that even if he is wrong about something, he still does not lose. He never invests money he cannot afford to lose. He never uses debt to buy stocks. And he always keeps a large amount of cash available so he can buy when others are panicking. The 7th step is living below your means. Buffett still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. He drives himself to work. He eats at McDonald's. He does not own a yacht. He does not own a private island. For a man worth over $100 billion, his lifestyle is shockingly simple. This is not a coincidence. Wealth is not built by earning more. Wealth is built by keeping more of what you earn and investing the difference. The gap between your income and your spending is where real wealth is created. Every dollar you spend today is a dollar that cannot compound for the next 30 years. The 8th step is mastering your emotions. This is where most investors fail. When the market crashes, people panic and sell. When the market is booming, people get greedy and buy at the top. Buffett does the opposite. He said it best himself. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. During the 2008 financial crisis, while banks were collapsing and everyone was selling, Buffett was writing billion-dollar checks. He bought Goldman Sachs. He bought General Electric. He bought when blood was in the streets, and he made a fortune. The way to master your emotions is to have a plan before the crisis hits. Decide in advance what you will do when the market drops 30%. Write it down. Commit to it. And when the panic comes, follow your plan instead of your fear. The 9th step is choosing your inner circle carefully. Charlie Munger was Buffett's partner for over 50 years. Munger pushed Buffett to stop buying mediocre companies at cheap prices and start buying great companies at fair prices. That shift made Buffett billions of extra dollars. One relationship changed everything. The people around you influence how you think about money, risk, ambition, and time. Surround yourself with people who are building something. People who read, people who invest, people who think long-term. Your environment shapes your decisions more than you realize. The 10th and final step is reinvesting everything. Berkshire Hathaway, the company Buffett built, has never paid a dividend to shareholders. Every single dollar of profit gets reinvested back into the business. This is how compound interest reaches its full potential. If your investments pay dividends, reinvest them automatically. Do not spend them. Put them back to work. Every dollar you reinvest today could be worth $10, $20, or $50 in the future. So let us recap the system. Start as early as possible. Read every single day. Only invest in what you understand. Buy great companies at fair prices. Think like an owner. Protect your downside. Live below your means. Control your emotions. Choose the right people. And reinvest everything. This is not magic. This is not a secret. This is a system that one man from Nebraska followed for over 70 years. And it turned him into one of the greatest investors who ever lived. The only question left is this: are you ready to start?